welcome to the 11th episode of Moc Advice with Callan and Ben. This week's episode, we are reviewing robots, or non-canon mocs. But, it's a confusing theme, but I'm sure you'll catch on. Anyway, a few announcements before we begin. With requests, heaps of you guys got really confused with how to request, so I'm going to go over how to do that again. The proper way to request is not to comment below and say, please review this mock, do this, blah, blah, blah. You have to request a mock that fits the category we say. Plus, you have to send me a message, not a comment, because links don't work in comments. You have to send me a personal message through YouTube giving me the link of the mock and how to pronounce the name of the mock. If it's a complicated name, if it's something really simple, then don't bother. You don't have to send it to Callan, but you can if you want, but it is better to send it to me. Anyway, yeah, that's basically all you need to know for that. Anyway, a quick announcement. Next week's episode is going to be the season finale. We will obviously be doing a second season, but we're just going to take a bit of a break because, I'm back at school and there's a lot of stress with that. That's why I haven't been mocking on more pages. Caleb's also not got a lot of time. So we're going to take a minor break. That being said, though, the final episode is going to be awesome. And what we're going to request for that is whatever the heck you want, basically. Self-mocks. Any mock you want. I know this is normally meant to be a self-mock episode, but whatever you want, request it. We'll do it. We'll also be doing 4 mocks in that episode, so request away and enjoy that episode. I've rambled enough. Caleb, on to what mocks we'll be reviewing.
Alright, today's mocks are Deus, Master of the Mind by Deus, B7539 by Said the Editor, and Aperture Science Assassin Robot by Lord Oblivion. Alright, so I will start off with Said's B7539. Alright, so here is B7539, and he looks pretty darn cool. Overall, I like the lower leg design quite a lot. It looks pretty sweet and well armored. I still don't exactly know how it's made. But the only thing that bothers me about this mock, really, is the upper legs. I feel they could be buffed up a little bit, but the major problem, I feel, is the Pohatu claw on his back. I just don't like how it's positioned. It looks a little weird, and it kind of makes it look like his chest just puffs out from the side a little bit and then goes right back in. So I think he should probably remove that and put some more Greeble stuff. But other than that, he's really pretty good. Alright, Ben, what do you have to say?
Yeah, overall he's a very cool tertiary self-mock. I really like the overall look that he's given him. The colour scheme is probably one of my favourite parts. I've always loved that general colour scheme, and it looks really good on this mock. I also really like the arm designs, how he's got the changing arm designs. Both of them look really cool. I really like I think the gun arms are my favourite though, but both of them look really cool. Critique-wise, I don't really understand the whole point of the trans clear pieces on him. They seem a little just sort of tacked on. I kind of think it'd be better to maybe replace those with trans blue studs maybe, or some other piece in trans blue, just because I feel they kind of stand out and are a little pointless. The other critique I have is I feel that with the claw arms, towards the top is a little skinny. I think maybe he could buff that out a tiny bit, but other than that, I don't really have too much to add. He's overall a great mock.
Alright, now we're moving on to Deus, Master of the Mind by Deus himself. Overall, I really like his left hand design. The left hand is very interesting. He's used all kinds of little system bits to make this interesting little, what I guess to be a lightning zapper kind of thing. I'm not exactly sure its purpose, but it looks pretty nice. Something that I'm not too sure about is the foot design. It's definitely good, but it seems slightly too small for the figure who's bulking and powerful looking. Maybe he could just redo them and make them big and tightnish, possibly use Cordica feet in a custom way. Then I think it would look spectacular. Alright, so Ben, what do you have to say about this mock?
Probably one of my favourite self-mocks on the pages. I really like Deus. Some of my favourite things is the overall torso design. He's used those 2 Rurus on his shoulders very well, and just the overall look of it looks really cool. Another thing I like on the torso is that heart-like design. He's used that printed piece with that purple circle. I'm imagining he's using that as a heart light, but even if he isn't, it still looks like one. A nice way of doing a heart light. A head design as well. That's also another great use of one of the older masks. That looks really cool. I love how he's done that. The other thing I like is the hand design. Like, he's got 5 fingers on that. Looks really cool. I also like how he's used some of the heroic knives for the claws. Overall, he's a very cool mock. However, there are a few things that I don't like. The way he's connected the arms to the torso seems really awkward, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. You could keep it the same, just hide it a little more. I think that will be really good. The other thing I miss is in some of his earlier versions, he used to have some purple in him, and purple is such a cool colour. But, I mean, he does look cool without purple, but it would be cool to see him with purple again. The final thing I have critique-wise is the cape seems a little short. I think if he made that a little longer, it would be pretty cool. Apart from all the critique I have, this is a very cool self-mock.
Now on to our final mock, Aperture Science Assassin Robot by Lord Oblivion. Now this is spectacular. It really has a very nice look. Supposed to be Portal-esque, he says. I think the best part of this mock has to be the foot design, which uses the Star Wars Rebel helmets very well. It just looks really awesome. It slightly bothers me that the Takanuva leg piece has a ball joint sticking out right there that's totally uncovered, but that's nothing really big. My real con is that if you look closely, the middle segment of his chicken leg seemed very small. It doesn't seem like we're given a really good side view of it, so we can see that if it looks good from the side. I would kind of like to see, because I don't think it would look terrible, but I don't think it would look as good as it first shows. And I'm not trying to pick on Lord Oblivion, that's just me. Overall, this is a great Lord Oblivion.
Yeah, this is a brilliant mock from Lord Oblivion. I really like it. The head and I suppose it's also the torso design is really cool. I love how he's incorporated the Zamisphere into all that. It looks brilliant. I also really like the whole contrast between both the smoothness of some of the armor pieces and the greebles. I love quite a lot of things about this mock, but I don't really have time to go over them all. Critique-wise, really don't have much. There's pretty much no flaws with this mock. The only thing that I have, maybe with the lower legs, he could possibly buff out the sides a tiny bit. I think it might look a little bit better to have them buffed out a tiny bit. But other than that, there's really not much else I don't like about this mock. It's awesome. Alright guys, that wraps up yet another episode of Moc Advice. Do remember the category for next week's episode, which is the season finale, is whatever the heck you want. And also go back to the beginning to see how to request in case you forgot. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you enjoy the next episode, and I hope you enjoy many more episodes to come. I am Ben Cossey.
And I'm Callan LOF.
See you guys.
Take a look at more Galator reports and A&B Pros series coming soon. Break the gates.